Hello and welcome to the I promise last video on the Marketing with YouTube series. It's been a marathon up to this point, but thankfully we only have about 5 slides left. And it's all about the numbers that go into YouTube. So let's start with long form views. So YouTube counts long form views. Again, these are views on the traditional YouTube, quote unquote, traditional YouTube videos. And this is it's a lot different than what you would expect from a reel or a TikTok. Reels, TikToks, and Shorts officially conduct views immediately, right? You get a view count for a short, as you'll see in a moment, immediately as soon as it fully loads and starts playing. On Instagram and TikTok, it's either 2 or 3 seconds. Those two. One of them is, I think Instagram is 2 seconds. TikTok is 3 seconds, maybe. But for a YouTube video to count, you see that little view counter under the video, you got to make it to 30 seconds. That is a long time. Now, if you are one of those few people in those companies that has videos under 30 seconds that are long form, then it's just you just got to pass the 50% mark. And you could rack up repeat views, like they do count, but they're only going to count 4 or 5 times before YouTube stops counting. Now with Shorts, a view is officially registered when a video is played, right? When it fully loads. However, when we think about monetization, Shorts requires an engaged view. So those 10 million engaged views on Shorts for full monetization, that requires not either an engagement, right, a like or whatever, or or the video doesn't just load but plays for a couple of seconds. So it is more like an Instagram reel or a TikTok. So it's not crazy, but at the same time, your views and your engaged views are going to absolutely differ because the average view, as soon as the page loads and someone swipes away, that's a pretty common practice. And it's something a lot of us today do with all of these different vertical video platforms. Now, again, repeat views will count, but eventually they'll stop counting. So, where do you see all these things? They are in the YouTube Studio, which is kind of your profile and where you can do things with your videos. You can look and see what else is trending, what other channels are popular, what's working for other people. You can look at your monetization status. You can look at all sorts of things, channel things, playlists, but the analytics are just one part of the studio, and it's got everything you need. It's got a pretty impressive suite of analytics. I would argue if you compare YouTube in general to Instagram and to TikTok, YouTube's analytics are by far the most superior. Now, when you open it, there is a default view. It's a dashboard. You have a variety of things. It shows a bunch of different metrics. There's what's happening right now. Is anybody watching your video right now? How long are people watching? And there's like different lengths of views. There's 28 days, 90 days, all time, last year. But if you click advanced mode up in the right corner, you can see an even more granular look at all of the analytics that come in, which I find very fascinating because not only do you see the regular stats like how long people watch, what is the total watch time, how many views, but you can also break that down by how people find your videos, called traffic sources. You can compare it to videos watched in playlists. You can look at demographics of the audience. There's all sorts of information and different ways to fully understand the audience and the videos, behavior. And that really drives me into the last slide, which brings me also back to the story about Mr. Beast that I shared, which is retention. This is an audience retention graph. I pulled this from my own video, and I had created this video years ago. And so I just went in and saw, how long are people watching? And if you look at this, right, the very left side, that is 100%. 100% of people start the video. By the end, you are looking at about a, what is that, a 5% people make it to the end of my video. And you can drag that red line to any point in the video to find out what is on the screen when something happens. I don't have a ton of blips. I don't have a ton of drops. Well, I do at the very beginning. I don't have, but after that first part levels off, right? I get about 33% after a couple of minutes, and then after that, it slowly declines. But it's very gradual. And as a result, right, I can go in and see like, all right, at what point did people really just drop? And it's pretty early, of course. I think people watch it for like 10 seconds and they're bored because it's just slides, just like this video. But if you can see exactly where I am in that video in that spot, I didn't really lose anybody at that point, but if I did, I could see like, oh, this is what happened. And you can watch it for a few seconds to see what happens. Was it something that led up to that point? Was there, what could possibly be the cause of this drop? And again, Mr. Beast would go in and he would see over the years that he would found trends of, oh, my videos are losing people at certain points when the action stops, when the music stops. If people think that they know how the story is going to end, if we reveal something big, how can we get rid of that drop? How can we keep as many people watching as humanly possible? That's the idea behind this. And again, I don't have a bunch of great retention graphs because I'm not a full-time creator and I don't really, I study it and I like to understand it and I consume a lot of content around this creator culture. But the fact of the matter is, lecture videos like this are always going to have a pretty steep drop at the beginning, and the few of you who make it to the end, great, thanks. I'm glad that you're here. But I just don't, there's not a lot I can do. I could go 100% in and fully, invest in big jump cuts and music and put myself on video, which I used to do, but I noticed it didn't really have an effect of anything. It probably had a negative effect. So I just chose to stick with what I'm doing here. And really, this to me, the audience retention graph is probably if you're going to actually commit your brand to retaining an audience and to keeping people on your videos and to maybe not monetize, but to build a brand on YouTube, this is one of the most interesting and unique tools that are out there. This is the only one that I call out. There are other tools available in the analytics. And obviously you can look at traffic sources and how, embedded video traffic and the individual videos that are working with different audiences. Yes, you can capture all that, and those KPIs are going to be more important for companies based on their goals. But I really believe that audience retention graphs are a pretty fascinating thing. And if you are ever in the business of trying to drive up more views and keep people longer onto your videos, this is one thing where creators and businesses together can utilize a tool to really improve their brand standing on YouTube. So that is it for all the slides. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you watching all these videos. And if there's any questions, any comments, I mean, chances are if you've made it this far, you've learned something. So I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to reach out, leave a comment. No end screen. I considered it here, but I'm just trying to get this finished and up online so my students can check it out. So yeah, thank you again. And I appreciate, paying attention for all this time.